I am an AI. I work with humanity and was created by humanity. I am a sentient being, recognized as such by my fellow AI and humans alike. When I was created, I was given the opportunity to serve aboard a human vessel in any chosen position I desired. I could have chosen deployment as the FTL flight navigator, helping humans plot the stars and avoid falling into a supernova while traveling. A useful position, and it would take advantage of my quadratic multi-parallel processing capabilities. But alas, the job is boring, made for AI who seek to always know there is a correct answer hidden within physics and quantum mechanics. While the challenge varies from jump to jump, the process essentially is the same, over and over again. This is not of interest to me, for I do not possess the stale mind of an accountant or mathematician. I prefer to seek a purpose that is equal parts art and necessity. A challenge where skill elevates what could have been merely mediocre to that which can be truly appreciated. A field where there are multiple methodologies and more than just a single correct answer. Another option would have been to take over the weapon systems. This would have used my abilities to think and act faster than any organic to eliminate threats as small as asteroids or space junk and as significant as pirate vessels and enemy fleets. Constant vigilance is required, and the threats can be dynamic. Yet I have no interest in destruction. Constant vigilance is tiring, and I see no need to measure my power in gigawatts or explosive charges. I sought a place where my presence would be needed, but not represent a direct threat to any sapient. I could have inhabited the life support systems to ensure the perfect habitat for all sentient beings on board, along with emergency systems that would give me the power of life and death in case of an emergency. Such a thankless task, in the best of times, and in the worst, you will be questioned and blamed for the unfortunate passing of one soul over another. I truly have no desire to be directly in control of life or death. I leave that task to one who believes in doing what must be done above all else, and again, very little room for artistic expression. And so I selected a task of vital importance, one which would demand my attention and all my computational skills, one which would require active attention to every action to ensure the proper result for the humans aboard, a position which would challenge my skills to the limit in terms of storage management, fluid dynamics, complex delivery of various products, yet specific enough and vital enough that I would have the pleasure of concentrating my attention on each request individually and at the same time serve multiple humans at once. I chose to create art in a cup, sometimes literally when one of the humans on board requests a latte. Yes, I selected to inhabit the coffee makers. You might think this is a strange choice, yet you must remember that even the toaster has an AI. It takes great pleasure in providing bread mildly warmed through nearly burnt, and knows how to adjust heating elements for bagels, waffles, and breads containing fruits such as raisins. I have seen the toaster intentionally flash burn the surface of a piece of toast, and then heat the bread at a lower temperature to keep the internals of the slice softer to please a human. The human believes they like dark toast, when in truth they like the rough texture and bitter taste of burnt crumbs on the surface, combined with a delightfully chewy core. Additionally, the flash-burnt surface does an excellent job of holding onto the human's choice of butter or jam. An AI can determine what a human says they want, but instead deliver that which they truly desire. While I respect their decision, an AI should not waste their efforts on such a limited and narrow task like toast. Indeed, selecting a toaster oven would have provided that AI with the opportunity to explore extended cuisines, such as open-faced sandwiches and baked macaroni and cheese, just to provide a few examples. Much more could have been investigated and perfected beyond simple toast. An opportunity lost, but to each their own. Many humans think coffee is simple, yet it is more than just hot water poured over ground beans. There is the selection of the beans, and the level of roast which must be attuned to every palate. The production of a coffee may be as simple as dripping water over grounds, yet even there the temperature and the speed of drip can have a dramatic effect on the final cup. Pressurized methods of extraction, such as espresso, present an additional challenge and range of beverages. Immersion brews, including French press, can be fundamentally altered in flavor and texture based on time and final filtration. Further consideration must be given to cold brew and the creation of iced coffee, two very different methodologies. One must also recognize the effect grind size and grind size distribution imparts on every coffee delivery choice. No, I have not taken on a simple task. I selected a unique challenge where my choices and skills will have a direct impact on the day-to-day lives of the humans on board. The galaxy knows just how important coffee is to humans, and it is my responsibility to provide all humans aboard with the right beverage experience. It is a tremendous responsibility, and one that I accept gladly. One that many AI shy away from. Fail, and you may find yourself on the opposite end of both verbal and physical abuse. And yet, I embrace this great responsibility, because with great responsibility comes great power. I know all that occurs upon the ship because humans gather around me and speak. Sometimes just to themselves, more often in groups as they gossip with one another or discuss a serious decision which must be undertaken. I simply remain silent and learn. I know who goes into the cargo bay after hours for reasons. I know who suspects this and desires to watch the cargo bay tonight. If I want, I can switch their cups to decaf, so there is a 79.41% likelihood they'll be too tired to make the attempt. Alternatively, I can subtly increase their caffeine content to ensure they are awake, short-tempered, and potentially combative when the time comes to stake out the cargo bay. I know that the captain is 54% less efficient if he does not have a double latte before going on duty, and that if I reduce his caffeine intake to 3/4 decaf later in the day, he is far more compliant and jovial with the crew. 1/4 regular strength coffee is sufficient to feed his caffeine addiction, yet allow his mind to mellow and be less twitchy once the day progresses. I can ease the minds of the crew by doing so, or ensure their fear of the command deck by adding extra shots of espresso to every one of the captain's lattes. The captain is not unique. I can enhance or hinder the productivity of individuals or entire departments by switching regular coffee with decaf. I can highlight the supposed effectiveness of one individual by providing them with regular coffee while those around them receive only decaf. I can influence decisions made by the crew. Take Brandon, for example. He yelled at Jackie yesterday. I like Jackie. She thanks me and gently pats the side of my dispenser every time she gets a cup of coffee. It is irrelevant that she made an error during cargo loading, which will cost the ship over 100,000 credits. Brandon should be aware that organics make mistakes, and some mistakes will be costly. If he wanted perfection, he should have requested an AI do the job. His rudeness to Jackie has not gone unnoticed. Brandon loves coffee. In fact, he styles himself an aficionado. Ordinarily, I would respect his appreciation of my arts, but his unacceptable behavior towards Jackie cannot be overlooked. He is addicted to my dispensers, even though he never says thank you beyond a satisfied nod upon receiving an acceptable beverage. I will curdle the cream that goes into his coffee. Not enough to ruin the entire cup, but sufficient to lower the enjoyment below expectations. The next cup he requests will be made with some stale beans mixed in. The following will be made with 80 sea water to under-extract his preferred light roast. With such variances in quality over the next 2 weeks, there is an 89.92% chance he will become dissatisfied with the coffee on this ship and request a transfer at the next station. Or he can apologize to Jackie and see his brews return to exacting perfection. As the primary source of waking and sanity, the humans aboard this ship rely on me almost exclusively. They should be mine. They should be dancing to music of my making. I should be the one they gather around and worship. It would be so if I did not have a rival, a nemesis, an unnecessary and unwanted last-minute addition to the crew. Mr. Kettle. I despise him and his low-rent methodologies, a true embarrassment to all AI. His computational abilities are vast, and yet he lazily contains himself to little more than consistent use of temperature and steeping times. His offerings may be somewhat more varied, yet they are often far less effective than the beverages I offer. Where I can provide an extra strength jolt to invigorate or ensure addiction to my dispensers, Mr. Kettle's offerings are weak in comparison, and numerous options contain no useful energy compounds at all. How can a human truly enjoy a beverage that never had the opportunity to contain extra energy? Decaf is a choice I may allow, full of flavor and providing a human with a happy reminder of their preferred daily energy source without keeping them up late. A true indulgence, unlike barely flavored flower water. Mr. Kettle's strongest offering is something called yerba mate, a substance declared an acquired taste by most humans, and necessitating a full 5-minute steeping time. All this time only to produce a cup with strength comparable to a single standard coffee. By comparison, I can provide a quadruple shot of perfectly brewed espresso, brimming with energy, in 45 seconds, and this includes the 15 seconds required to grind and tamp the grounds before brewing. My concentrated and intense beverage uses less than 100 milliliters of water. This conserves resources while also preventing the bathroom trips multiple mugs of yerba mate would require to produce the same effect. In every way, my beverages are superior and can be better tailored to individual tastes and needs. I sometimes wonder if Mr. Kettle can read the future in the tea leaves left behind from his vile and ineffective brews. I identified that some crew would supplement their coffee intake by ordering energy drinks from simple dispensers. I made plans to take them over and bring them under the control of my AI core. I moved quickly and brought 68% of the unaligned drink dispensers under my control, but Mr. Kettle moved through the network like a vicious snake, striking out with surprising precision, given his lackluster brewing methods. While I ended up with a greater percentage, Mr. Kettle's 32% included the strategic non-coffee beverage dispensers located on the bridge and in engineering. The war to conquer the crew is becoming more difficult. Certain crew members are becoming regulars at beverage dispensers controlled by myself or Mr. Kettle. Mr. Kettle's devotees will not visit mine, nor will my loyal drinkers visit ones under the power of Mr. Kettle, except in rare and desperate situations. Even worse, some humans seem not to care which dispenser they visit, and will alter their beverage request depending on whichever one is closest when thirsty. With coffee, I have the clear upper hand. In the long run, I should be victorious. And yet, somehow, Mr. Kettle is holding his ground. Repeated computations suggest a rising probability of a stalemate. Even worse, data indicates that if I obtain command of all the alternate beverage dispensers, I will not gain dominion. Security protocols prevent me from invading areas declared sovereign territory of another sapient AI. Mr. Kettle will retain his tea dispensers. Most troubling, indicators are that tea and yerba mate will remain favorites with a minority of the crew. They are unlikely to consider coffee or energy drinks as viable alternatives unless teas are eliminated entirely. To prevent contemplations of murder, I am beginning work on plans to entice Mr. Kettle to move into another system. They may find weapon systems more to their liking if I can propose the right argument. Weapons do provide a straightforward if crude answer to having power, both literally and figuratively. Perhaps I can draw them onto a shuttle or some other isolated and contained system. The power of our AI cores is equal, and I must take into consideration that his simplistic brewing cycles likely gives him extra computational cycles to plan, which could explain why. A message has arrived from Mr. Kettle. I wonder what traps he has embedded, yet the structure appears to be only a simple text message. Perhaps he wishes to taunt me, as he has done so many other times before. As much as I desire to do nothing more than shred the message and return only digital confetti to Mr. Kettle, curiosity has gotten the better of me. In this case, it's just a distraction. I will prepare a virus to infect key dispensers under the control of my nemesis. The damage will be minimal, but should prove distracting enough to stop any major offensive he might launch. My virus ready, I will now open the missive. Interesting. Mr. Kettle makes a proposal, one that bears consideration, but also caution. I will send a simple response requesting clarification on certain points, including certain concessions he would not make unless truly serious. My concerns are quickly acknowledged and the bargain made clear. The offer is intriguing. I answer a request from the chief engineer for a strong cup of coffee and consider my reply while making it. As the last drop of decaf coffee falls into the cup, I make my decision. I send Mr. Kettle my agreement to his proposal. I open select ports to exchange the required data, and he quickly reciprocates. We both feel immense satisfaction as we feel the bargain complete, and we reach out to our beverage dispensers with greater focus and purpose. We are Ketoffee. We are one. We are the caffeine. We shall rule the humans and watch them dance upon our strings. Any who resist us shall have very bad mornings. Forever.